So I finally understand your Discord username.
Oh, yeah. Did you finally watch Tower of God?
Yes. Okay. So for everybody that obviously cannot see your Discord, so you've been Rack Wraith Razor. Rack Wraith Razor? I got that right?
Rack Wraith Razor. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful.
For ages. I mean, just for fucking forever, basically. Yep. And so, you know, I think, in the last episode, you had mentioned I should watch a couple of the Korean animes. And so we watched Tower of God, and, you know, like, not like, you know, 5-10 minutes into the first episode, I'm like, pause. Wait a second. Pull up Discord. Yeah, that is the same name, isn't it? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and that's my profile picture, too.
Oh, shit. Is that? Oh, my God.
That's Small Rack.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Damn, this is a whole deep cut here.
Yeah. Tower of God's one of my favorites for sure. I still read the manhwa, so.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, it was okay. I mean, I guess let's talk about Tower of God a little bit, because it was really good. So yeah. I mean, you would basically mention to me, hey, you want to get a real interesting flavor for it looks like an anime, but doesn't have the same mouthfeel exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, Tower of God. It's hard to put my finger on exactly, but I did notice that there was definitely a difference in like the way that just the way that things kind of are in it, you know?
Yeah. It definitely gets more that way as you go along, but it's interesting because Tower of God's probably, at least the anime is like very close to regular Japanese anime. So I'm not surprised you had trouble like picking up on the more like overt elements.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, you know, you had mentioned something about like a difference in the way like female characters are treated, and I think I felt that, you know, I think that there was some element of that I felt while watching that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it has that same Uncanny Valley type of feel to it that I get out of watching like Avatar, where I was just like, ooh, it's like,
no, yeah, you're right, yeah.
It's checking a lot of the same boxes, but it's like there is a discernible, maybe not discernible. There's a difficult to discern difference between the two of them, and it's hard too, because it's like, I think I still haven't watched Solo Leveling, and I haven't watched like God of High School or whatever, which I don't even know if that one's any good or not. But
yeah, I haven't seen that one either, honestly. Although I do know of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the big ones on Crunchyroll, like maybe a year ago. I don't know, but either way, so I mean it's hard to make like any kind of a statement off of just one anime, because it's like, well, is it just this one, or is it like, what are the pervasive elements there? But like, I definitely felt like there was something there where I was like, okay, this is different, and I'm having trouble figuring out exactly why.
Yeah, that it gets more pronounced as it goes on, for sure.
But yeah, also just a really solid fucking anime. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
That like whatever, like the girl that he's after, you know?
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah, she pulls some like serious Gone Girl shit on him towards the end there. I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah,
like,
you fucking hate her guts so much.
Oh my God. It's like, it's just like that when she like kicks him off the thing or whatever, like towards the end, I was just like, oh shit, this is like,
yeah. No, it's a great little dynamic that goes through the whole thing.
Oh my God. So yeah, I loved it. I was very surprised to see Rack make an appearance, and now so I had always assumed that Rack was like one of your D&D characters.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it's also that.
Oh, okay.
Because at the same time that I changed my name, I also played a D&D character that I like, you know, spiritually based off of Rack Wraith Razor.
Yeah.
Right? As just like, you know, I'm going to be leader. Yeah. You guys are all my servants now. Deal with it. But like, I was actually a really good leader. So like, everyone just ended up being like, oh yeah, you should be leader, actually.
Did you call everybody various types of turtle?
No, I'm not. I'm not that dedicated to role playing, unfortunately. Rack, he grew into his own character.
Okay,
ultimately.
Fair enough.
I just used him as like, you know, inspiration.
Yeah, I mean that is always the best way with D&D. Is just like, okay, you start up with like a stereotype, and then you like unflanderize them basically.
Yeah. But there is now like a Wraith Razor family like in the lore of that world.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The other one that I watched in a similar vein, and by the way, I have to make a correction from the last time because this is going to drive some people crazy. The 3 people that listen to this, I bet one of them is really annoyed. Wuxia, hi. Wuxia is not the name of Chinese manga.
No, it's a genre of that, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, sorry. What is the name?
It's just manhwa.
It's manga.
Yeah, it's
manhwa too.
manhua. So
Yeah,
it's
manhwa, okay,
yeah, it's the same thing as like the Korean. It's just like pronounce it in Mandarin. I don't know how to pronounce it in Mandarin.
I've only read Wuxia manhwa, so I just call it Wuxia.
Yeah,
But no,
understand.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, because it's like I was like, oh, I'm surprised it's not just like manhwa, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it is just manhwa. Okay.
Yeah.
But I watched oh shit, what's the name of it? Heavenly Official's Blessing.
Okay.
I know why you're laughing.
Heavenly Official. I've never heard of this.
Oh,
ever.
you haven't? Okay. I thought you were
never
laughing
heard
for a
of
different
this.
reason because
No,
it's
no,
basically
no,
a
no,
light.
no.
It's a light BL basically.
Now you're dropping words I don't know. Light BL.
A boys love anime.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
It's not an explicit BL, but it's certainly a light BL. There's like, I mean, if you even just look at like the cover art for it, I'm like, the first thing I looked up with like Laura was like, ooh, we should watch that. I'm like, is this a BL? And they're like, well, sort of, but
Only
not really.
partially. Yeah.
Tangentially,
Cool.
it's a BL.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a donghua.
I was just looking at that. Donghua. That's the new name.
Yeah, well, yeah, for, I guess, I that must mean Chinese
heard of
animation
this.
or something.
Yeah.
But that one, actually, the very first, so this did not continue throughout, although there was little bits and pieces that I did feel this way. But, and maybe this shouldn't surprise me, but the very first episode, I was like, this actually feels a lot like Avatar. And, Avatar draws a lot from like Chinese culture, obviously, like that's the whole thing. And I was just like, that really shouldn't surprise me a lot. But like, I was like, wow, this actually like, even the way that the characters were drawn actually, and I don't know if that's like a situation of them being inspired by the art in Avatar and therefore putting it into theirs, I mean, who knows which direction that went, but it's just very interesting because I was just like, wow, wait a second, have I been wrong this entire time? Is Avatar just a donghua? Is that what's going on?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can kind of see what you're talking about. You're talking about Heaven's Official Blessing, right?
Heaven Official's Blessing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, because there was, like, the very beginning of it, like, there's, like, a scene where, like, he's walking with this woman, and, like, they're just, like, kind of, like, it's a very quick, like, quippy kind of dialogue, which reminds me a lot of some of the dialogue in Avatar, and I was just like, this is really blowing my mind right now. I was like, this feels so much like what Avatar feels like, where it's like, oh, this is drawn like an anime, but everything's a little bit different. So
Interesting.
It was in Mandarin, which was also interesting because, like, unlike Tower of God, which is just made by a Japanese studio,
Yes.
like this is made from by a Chinese studio and is in Chinese, which was a totally different experience.
Yeah, I would be very interested in seeing a Korean anime. I don't know if there's a different word for it.
There
that's
is.
like actually in Korean.
Yeah, what is the name?
Because like hearing like being able to hear like juicy or whatever, like I think that's the name for brother or something.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. But no, I'll have to check this out. This is probably the best looking what the fuck's the word? Donghua.
Yeah.
That I've seen. Usually donghua are pretty like gross looking.
Oh, this one is
very
gorgeous.
CGI heavy. This one looks great. Yeah, this one looks amazing.
It is. This is what it feels like to me, honestly. So like the first season was like the pacing, like, and the writing was a little bit rough. I felt like I don't know if that's just like the Chinese is different than Japanese, and so the way that like everything kind of comes out like has a different cadence to it, and it was throwing me off. But like I also did genuinely feel like it just wasn't as good as the second season. But it really, what it feels like to me is like an animation studio that like a Japanese company has been using to do their like tweening, for years, comes in and is like, look, why don't we just make one and use like the full brunt of our gigantic resources, that you use to do all the tweening in 2 weeks before the next episode, to just make a gorgeous fucking, animation. And my God, is it gorgeous. Oh, it is so good looking. So yeah, you should check it out. It's, I mean, like it's also good. I mean, like if you look on my anime list, I think it's like it's above an 8. So like it's
That's pretty good.
yeah. It's quality. It's quality. Yeah. I did watch the second season mostly as a Japanese dub, just because I wanted to see what the difference was. And we only got up to, I think, episode 10, and then I think we caught up to where they're working on the dub. And so it went back to the Mandarin, but the like it felt way better on those last couple episodes in season 2 than it did in season 1. So I do feel like in the intervening years they polished up their like writing and storytelling a bit, although the subs got worse, which is weird.
Like, no, that happens. Yeah, that happens with subs.
Yeah, it's like the subs were like, because I feel like the subs were quality in the first season, and then they were just pretty much garbage for the Chinese. They were fine for the Japanese for some reason, but for the Chinese they were just absolute trash. It's just like, okay, this is a very mixed bag, but it was, it was fun. I will watch the next season when it comes out, so I'm totally down with it. But yeah, so very interesting. I mean, tacking back onto like our conversation from last time, like watching a Korean anime and watching a Chinese anime does make me really notice that there is an appreciable difference between like the way that like, you would write a Korean anime versus the way you'd write a Chinese anime versus, I guess, is the way you'd write an American anime, versus the Japanese. So, I'm still chasing that, like, there's what are the exact elements that like make it different, but like I definitely feel like I'm more confident than ever there's something there.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely is something there. I think probably if you want to be broad, right? China is going to be more traditional, right? Korea is going to be more like family oriented in like the sense of like corporate family, right? Like Samsung, as I sit here with my 2 Samsung monitors.
It's funny you say traditional, and like I know what you mean. It's interesting though that like I feel like the way that, because we immediately went back to like watching like an anime right after that one. I think we're watching, what are we watching now? We're watching MF Ghost. But like I feel like the way that, and maybe it's just a situation of the way that Chinese people express like honorifics and all that stuff is different, and it has a different feel and cadence than it does, because in Japanese it's really easy. It's like the words get longer, and you start getting a lot of extra endings and stuff tacked on to stuff, and so it to my ear now it's very easy to be like, oh, okay, like somebody switched over to talking very formally. Whereas I don't pick it up obviously in Mandarin, because Mandarin I don't understand even a tiny bit of. And so
I don't think there's as much of that either.
And there might not be. And that may be why the dialogue feels different, because they don't have like...
I don't even think they have like endings. They don't have like san or sama or kun or anything.
Okay.
It's just in your name. You just have... I know you, like, there used to be a tradition of having a different name. You'd have like a court name and a personal name. But that was like in the Three Kingdoms period. So that was a long time ago.
Well, I mean, that's the most important period.
I mean, it's the one I like the most so far, at least.
I think it's also the one that a lot of Chinese people like the most, considering all of the literature about Three Kingdoms stuff.
The TV show is also banging.
Well, and if it's not if not the Chinese people, then certainly Japanese people fucking love the Three Kingdoms, because they seem to make a shit ton of games about it.
I've recommended the Three Kingdoms TV show to you, right?
Is that the one that's called Kingdom?
No. Three Kingdoms, the like Chinese, like Game of Thrones style.
Oh, did you recommend this to me and I didn't realize you were recommending it to me? It's possible.
Like I must have. Certainly now at this point, when you're starting to get into that, like, the Three Kingdoms Chinese TV show, and then like Three Body Problem also, you should check out.
Oh, is that
Neither
good?
of these are anime. Yeah, not the Netflix one though that's coming out. I'm talking about like the actual Chinese one.
Oh, okay.
That's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like 70 episodes, and I think the Three Kingdoms one is like 90 or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, and they're like Game of Thrones level productions, like, very good acting, special effects, writing, like they're good.
Man, ooh, 90 episodes.
I know.
Although that being said, I did add to my list finally, like, because I talked to Laura, I was like, okay, look, I've heard this is really good, but it's also a bazillion fucking episodes. Gintama,
Oh God, Gintama. Yeah, that's a hill that I would love to climb one day.
Yeah, I put it on the list. I was like, because I was looking. So you turned me onto my anime list, which I didn't realize was like the site for figuring this shit out. And so I was like, okay, what are their top anime and how many of these have I seen? Which most of them I have, but like, I was like, oh, Gintama, that keeps showing up. And
Gintama's a weird one because I've tried so many times to get into Gintama, and I've been told so many things about how to get into it.
Okay.
And I don't get it.
You don't get it?
Like, I don't find it. Like, people are like, it's the funniest thing you'll ever watch. And like, I've probably seen like 7 episodes by now, and I can hear a Gintama fan going like, that's nowhere near enough. Have you skipped the first 30 episodes? Because the first 30 episodes are just a retelling of the weird like introduction part, and you shouldn't watch that. You should skip to episode 31 because that's when the actual comedy bits happen. But then other people are like, well, if you skip that, you skip the character development, and then the comedy doesn't hit. But I don't want to watch 30 episodes of an unfunny comedy show just because there's like 100 funny episodes after that. So I just don't watch Gintama.
This is the same thing that prevents me from getting into The Office. Is that exactly. If you took that exact conversation and then just replaced the words The Office, like Gintama with The Office, that's the reason why I don't watch The Office.
It's not worth it.
It's just like there's certain TV shows like where it's just like, okay, look, if I need a fucking wiki to like, it's like I've played Dark Souls, okay? And so if I need to like Dark Souls a TV show, like I'm not 100% sure that I'm ready to watch that TV show.
Yeah, that's what Gintama feels like to me.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where we're just going to turn it on and we're just going to plow through it because we have like no shame about watching things that are, even if they're subpar. And I don't think this one is going to be subpar, so I think that we'll find a way to like work our way through it.
No, I mean, it's not bad. I was promised like airplane levels of comedy.
Yeah.
And I refuse to watch anything less than that if that's what I've been promised.
And like, comedy in anime is always so hit or miss. Like,
I generally don't find anime very funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to get things like Psyche K for me to like really jump on board with like comedy in anime. Like, I'll get a chuckle occasionally, but I'll be like, this isn't really funny so much as it's just like, which is like fine. Like, I mean, again, we're usually watching TV to like unwind our lives. So it's like, I don't need it to be highbrow and amazing all the time. But, when you get something like a Psyche K and it's just like, I'm literally laughing out loud. It's like, that's a tough bar. That's a tough bar.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh God, I mean, it's so easy for me to come up with that one because I was like, there were times when I was like crying, laughing, watching that. So it's like, when I think comedy anime, that one is definitely tops the list for sure.
That's Azumanga Daioh for me, for sure.
Gesundheit.
Oh, yeah. Do you know Azumanga Daioh?
I do not.
Oh, of course. Oh, wow. Of course not. Yeah. How would you? It's like an old like slice of life comedy anime.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like that's it. That's the whole thing. I found it very funny when I watched it. I'm not sure how it would hold up, honestly.
Okay.
It wasn't like lol random humor or anything, but like
it doesn't need to be, but like how do you spell it?
Yeah.
Azumanga.
Azumangadia. No, I skipped some stuff. Azumanga
Daioh.
Yeah, there you go.
You made that sound like the most difficult thing.
Yeah, Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga Daioh.
Okay. Is that on Crunchyroll?
It has to be.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Well, if not, it's on YouTube apparently with complete English subs.
Okay. Well, if it's on Crunchyroll, I will add it.
It does have the best intro ever.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Okay. Well, they do not have it on.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
Okay. So Azumanga Daioh. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'll add it. I can be convinced to add an anime to my giant list of anime.
I'm not even really trying to convince you. I'm just
it
exists.
All right. Yeah. Well, if we can, I guess we'll try to. I mean, I guess now that we have YouTube Premium,
yeah, exactly.
It's a much lower bar for us to watch something on YouTube because I don't have to fucking watch commercials with it. So
it's been so long since I've even considered that life. I didn't even realize that other people were living that
YouTube, I will, by the way, mention this is now the second time that we have plugged your YouTube Premium. We'll be expecting that check in the mail any day now.
Any day.
Any day will be fine. Actually, speaking of YouTube, I mentioned this on the Discord, but we're on YouTube now, by the way.
Woo!
Yeah. So, connected the podcast to the YouTube music, like the RSS feed to the YouTube music. So now every time I release a new episode, it pops up on YouTube. So you could be listening to this on YouTube. That's a possibility. That's a real thing that could be happening right now as you were speaking. So who knows? It's the world is your oyster. You have yet another choice of podcast listening platform. So
let the paralysis take hold. What's the optimal way to listen to it, though?
What I think the optimal way to listen to it is to actually like click all of our streams and listen to them all at once on different devices throughout your house or apartment.
With a couple seconds delay, so you can properly appreciate each version.
Well, yeah, because after when a joke lands, you want to have the chance to have that joke like hit you with like a cascade punch,
Yeah.
Just pa, 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 pa. For the 1 to 0 jokes that land per episode.
Oh no, we crank him out. This whole podcast is a joke.
That's the title. Oh God. Oh man. Oh, by the way, so I have to mention this because this is too. So I mean, we talked about VR last time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that whole conversation about like, will it be like, like maybe there'll be a time, where people just like replace like their phones with like, a VR headset, or like, maybe they'll replace their monitors with a VR headset. Yeah. We had that conversation exactly 1 week too early.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And then all the Apple stuff.
Yeah, all of the like literally a week later, it's like all this Apple Vision Pro stuff is coming out, and people are walking around malls with the headset on, and they're fucking, I sent you that thing about the guy using it instead of his monitors. It's like, shit, man. Fucking all we need to do is wait for Apple to convince everybody that they come up with this crazy new idea that nobody had ever heard of, and then people start like coming to it in droves to pay $3,500 for a headset or whatever the fuck it costs.
Did they though? Or all those people just paid by Apple?
¿Por qué no los dos, Steven? But yeah, I mean,
habla español.
We'll see what the lasting impact of that is. But like, honestly, like, here's the thing, right? Even if that's true, and even if it was just a bunch of, and it probably was, right? Like, it's a bunch of paid people to do this. Fine.
I haven't heard anything else about it, so I have to assume it was.
Yeah, I mean, I fortunately or unfortunately follow like a lot of VR stuff, on like Reddit and whatever, and so I'm overexposed to this to a degree that is not. Although that being said,
is there still news about it?
I don't think there is, but like I do feel like they're going to release another version that will hopefully not be $3,500, and will like start to allow more people to do this,
revolutionize the human experience.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like,
I'll take my check, Apple.
As much as I don't really jump on any of the Apple stuff, I mean, the last Apple product that I really cared about was the iPod, and they stopped making those. So like, I don't really care.
Still got mine.
I still have mine too, but it's dead. Like, it's dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah. But like, if all it takes is for Apple to do this and people to start paying attention, then like maybe it will increase. I mean, from what I heard, apparently after the Vision Pro came out, like sales of the Quest 3 went like crazy afterwards because people were like, nice. Well, I don't have $3,500, but I do have like $400.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, some people, probably a lot of people, but like some people have $400, and those people, I think the subset of people that have $400 but don't have $3,500 is a probably decently sized subset. So yeah, I mean, like I would love for Apple to usher us into the VR future that I have been waiting to happen for the better part of 3 years now. So like, fine. If it's Apple's the one that needs to do it, I don't care.
You'll accept that? Yeah, okay.
I'll accept our Apple overlords, whatever overlord it needs to be.
Yeah. I did actually start playing VR again just for a short time because Legendary Tales updated.
Oh, okay.
They like released their 1.0 finally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a Diablo style campaign now, which is cool. Yeah, you like actually traverse a world. It used to just be like a random dungeon.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
And it was always just like it was Diablo 1, and now it's Diablo 2, if that makes sense.
I mean, that sounds pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, no, it was fun. If it wasn't so exhausting to play VR, I would do it more, but like they really cranked up the amount of enemies in the game, and so like every fight is like 3 or 4 people against one.
Oh Jesus.
And so like you're moving. You're parrying and dodging and oof.
Well, I'll tell you what, you keep doing it and then it will be easier to
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, seriously. It's exercise, which is why it won't ever be that popular.
There is that. I mean, people, every time people show the Vision Pro, like there's always like the person immediately afterwards that pulls up the picture from WALL-E of everybody sitting in their floaty chair with the VR headset. It's like, I mean, that's realistic.
Yeah, that's okay. We're already there.
I mean, we're there now. We absolutely can be. I mean, you just need a floaty chair, and we're not that far away from that.
Like I would love. That's a step up for me. I just sit in my room most of the time.
Yeah, in my non-floaty chair. Ugh.
Yeah, my non-floaty chair that can't like go to the store.
Yeah, I would love to just go to the store in my VR headset and floaty chair,
and have that whole process happen inside.
Oh. The best.
I know, right? Yeah, that would be great.
One can only dream.
Ooh, we could both move to that one building town in Alaska.
Oh, I haven't heard of this. What is this?
It's exactly what it sounds like. There's just a town in Alaska that is one building. It's like a apartment building, but like everyone lives in that one apartment building. The store is in that apartment building. Everyone works in that apartment building. Like it is a one building town.
So they built a cyberpunk mega structure. In Alaska,
it's just a normal apartment building. That's the thing. It's not even like a giant megastructure.
Didn't they get the message that they were supposed to build that like Tokyo or like Shanghai or something? No.
They built it in Alaska 30 years ago.
They built it in Alaska 30 years ago. Like some time traveler is really confused. They're like, wait,
where's the cyber implants?
It's like they're like, oh wow, Bush? It's like. I didn't think that the climate apocalypse was supposed to happen yet, but I mean, I guess this is Shanghai. I guess I'll start building the giant mega structure apocalypse
pretty
building.
Mild winter this year.
Yeah, pretty mild winter this year. Jesus Christ. Interesting. I have to look that up later. That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever start Witch from Mercury?
Oh shit. No, I didn't. Oh, I never did.
Oh.
I definitely should though.
Yes, add that to your list. Yeah. I would be very keen to talk about that at whatever point.
Yeah, I'm keeping up with like 4 animes right now. So
what are you watching?
Friend Journey's End still.
Okay.
I guess that just ended, so that's done.
Okay, is that right? Because I was hanging on to that one until that one actually finished up.
Season 1 is done. I don't know if that's the entire anime. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was waiting for the second core to drop so I could.
Yeah, it's 26, so that season is done now.
Yeah, I hate watching things as they come out. Like I just can't do it anymore.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that.
So I always wait for them to just be done. Like we've been waiting for Solo Leveling to finish. We've been waiting for all the stuff to finish. So that's
Solo Leveling, Level 99, Villainous.
Yep.
Apothecary.
Oh yeah, that was the other one we were waiting to finish.
And there's one more. Mashal. And the Wrong Way to Healer.
Yep.
So a lot, actually, more than what I said.
A lot of
it's a lot of. It's a lot, and then I'm also watching Poirot, which is like just the British television show, not an anime.
Yeah, Poirot. Yeah.
Poirot. Thank you. Yeah, God, I've watched 5 seasons now. You think I know how to say it?
That's all right. That's what I'm here for, to pronounce things, I guess.
Poirot.
Pierrot. How bad can we mangle this?
I am Pierrot.
Oh my God.
Y'all got a murder to solve.
Oh Jesus, Murphy. Oh, I have a little gift for you.
Ooh.
So I listened to Disco Volante.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hell yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, okay. So I wanted to do this because like you could only pick 2 Mr. Bungle albums, and
this would have definitely been on there.
Yes, obviously. And so, okay, I only listened to it once. I mean, I'm not going to give you like an in-depth or anything, but I wanted to give you like a quick thing because it's like I was very curious, and I do feel like you were right to not include it, but I also feel like it is the best one.
Yes, correct. Yes. It's a lot, but it is the best one because it is a lot.
And I feel like it is the missing link. So I've reevaluated because after we did that episode, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and listen to this because I need to understand I need to be fully bungled. I was
Sure,
mostly
yeah, you were
bungled,
only
but I need to be
partially bungled.
Yes, I mean you can't just be like 70% bungled. You just gotta once you get that far, you gotta get all the way bungled. So like I listened to it and I've recontextualized how I feel about Mr. Bungle as a result of it. So Mr. Bungle, the eponymous album, I still very much feel was I'm going to make this weird album as kind of like a prank to the studio of like, I can't believe you gave me money to make Mr. Bungle, you crazy fuckers. Like, what are you doing? So I do feel like that is still very much a sarcastic album, and I've not moved off of that. I 100% believe that. However, I have reevaluated how I feel about California, because after listening to Disco Volante, I'm like, okay, so then they gave him money again, and he was like, okay, now I'm going to make a serious weird album. Like, I'm going to put effort into making a weird album. And I'm not going to make it, like, weird. Not like I put effort into the other one, like, to make it weird for the sake of being weird. But, like, I'm going to make it artistically weird. I'm going to, like, go full artist on this. And that is what I feel like Disco Volante is just full artist. Just, like, if the first one was flinging poo at the wall, the second was flinging poo at the wall, but then you like put that like little like white placard thing underneath it that like it's just like poo on the wall, medium poo.
There's like 3 placards because it's a long explanation.
Yeah, I mean it's like it is genuinely, it's a very good album. It is a lot, but it is a very good album. I still don't like it. But like I have a like artistic, there's like that like pretentious part of my brain that's like, yes, I understand what's going on here, type of situation.
Yes.
But now that I've listened to that, I realize that you were correct, and I just couldn't see the forest for the trees, is California is fun weird. That's all California is. California is, you gave me money again? Okay, now I'm just going to have fun,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They're relaxed. It's a fun album. Yeah,
it really is. So, yes, I feel like that we go from sarcastic weird to serious weird to fun weird, and that is the Mr. Bungle trilogy.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, correct to not include it, but I'm glad that I went back and listened to it. I think that I have a better appreciation for California now.
It was I don't know what there's a word for it, but it was a choice I couldn't win.
Yeah, like a Hobson's choice.
Yeah, a Hobson's choice. Thank you. Yeah, I needed all 3, but I could only take 2 with me.
Yeah, so this was the proverbial take the sheep back in the boat situation, or whatever.
There's a scorpion on my back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I need to get this fox, this sheep, and this houseplant.
Yeah. How am I going to do this? You can't.
You can't. You fucking can't. Give it up.
Die. That's life. Oh, God. Should we start the actual podcast part?
Yes, we should start the actual podcast part. But before we do that, I have a few songs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
Let me throw them at you. I was actually productive and made music. Here is the first one, and let me know when you are ready to hit play.
Doing it.
All right.
Very cool.
Nice. Oh, by the way, I promised myself I was going to do this, and I didn't actually do it. The first one was called My Soul. That was the one. So
yeah, it says the title.
Yeah. No. But I didn't actually say it to anybody.
Oh.
I did this on the last one too, where I just sent it to you without actually saying what anything was. I'm just like, I had to put in the fucking show notes, by the way, the first song was this, because I fucking can't I don't say words sometimes, even though, for some reason, it's like we're on an audio-based medium. I don't know if people realize this.
No, just look at our screens while we're doing it.
Just look at our screens. It's that simple. God, it's easy shit, people. Come on.
Yeah, that was good. I like the part around 50 seconds. Yeah, 50 seconds. That's when the song really kicks it into gear.
Oh yeah, when it switches over, the vocal drops out for a second.
Yeah. That's definitely. And then the rest of the song is great after that.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. There was that little breakdown where the drum beat kind of changes for a while.
Yes,
I like that as well.
Yeah, that whole part. Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, you'll like the title, and I also showed this one to you, the beginnings of this when this is Rose Bride. So I showed this one to you when you were up here.
Yeah. Okay, I'm playing.
All right. Yeah. So this is trying to do a little bit of like revolutionary girl lieutenant thing.
Yes, very hypnotic.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like that, like the whole like music when he's like, she's like pulling out the sword thing.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make that. And I got to play guitar on a thing, which is always fun for me.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. That's what's important.
It's not about the music, it's about the friends we made along the way.
It's about the friends we made along the way.
Okay. All right. And then the last one here. This is special stage. I should just finish this today. This came out of fucking nowhere, but let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I'm playing it. Very cool. I like the little ditty at like 126.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that little like da-da-da-da-da.
It's very
Nice.
It ended up in a very Eurobeat DDR place that I didn't know how it got there. I'm sitting there, I was making it. I was just like, all of a sudden, I was just like, perfect, great, perfect.
No, seriously, yeah. The next thing you got to do is put some like hip hop vocals over it and like blow the bass out, so it becomes funk.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that modern music producer.
I got to leave that to the remixers. That's
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. You can do the blood mix.
The blood mix.
Put a picture of Guts in his berserk armor on it. Like seriously, that's like half the new songs that come out on YouTube Music nowadays. It's crazy.
Guts
Maybe that's
mix.
just my algorithm.
I mean, I feel like that might be slightly to do with you.
No, it is all people.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
That's
Yeah, no.
good, yeah.
I was fucking around with basically like trying to use a generator to do drum beats because it's like I always end up gravitating towards like the same kind of stuff. It's like, because it's hard to make drum beats without like.
It's okay to have preferences.
Yeah. So I literally just basically like I wired up like a modular drum generator in like that like modular synth program that I have, and I was just like I just hit random a bunch of times, and then I was like, ooh, that sounds cool. I will make a thing with that.
Cool. Oh, that's a nice way to do it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, just like it's sometimes it's like you just need something like that to just kind of like get the creative juices going. It's like okay, throw that in there, and then you come up with something you would have never come up with on your own.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All right. Yes. Well, thank you for indulging me as usual.
No, of course. It's good.
Let's jump into the fucking main event, man. So, all right. We kind of did a weird one this time where, I mean, I think most of these albums, well, I'll say I know that 3 of these albums we've both heard before. One of these albums I should have heard before, but for some reason hadn't. But so I recommended my 2 this time around were North by the band Log. And then Bones in the Soil, Rust in the Oil by the band Pretend. And then what did you
Yes,
ask?
I recommended Tripper by Efterklang.
Yep.
And Deloused in the Comatorium by the Mars Volta.
Yes. So
which one hadn't you heard?
So I actually hadn't heard Tripper.
That does not surprise me. Yeah.
It's funny though, because I know that you've told me about Efterklang. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, they were my favorite band for a while.
Yeah, this was another one, and I don't know what. Like, I must have listened to some of this somehow, but I never like sat down and listened to this album, and I don't know how because like I'm jumping the gun here, but
that's fine. We can talk about this album first if you want.
Perhaps, but so let me at least lay out. So the reason why I chose these 2 albums, the idea that I had in my head, and I didn't actually tell you this, and so you didn't necessarily pick these 2 for that reason.
I think I picked up on it though.
Was okay. We'll see, because the reason I picked my 2 were critically underrated / unknown bands / albums.
Oh, interesting. Okay, no, that's not what I thought then.
What did you think? Because there's an alternate one that this could fit into.
Sad Album version 1 and Sad Album version 2.
Yeah. Cripplingly depressing albums. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And then I recommended my 2 albums for the very, very surface level reason of when you recommended North by Log, I went, oh, right, yeah, that's a band I haven't heard about a while. What are some other bands I haven't listened to in a while or thought about? And these are the 2 that came to mind first. So,
well, good picks.
So
good picks. I'm
yeah,
really glad you. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm kind of spoiling it a little bit, but I really enjoyed Tripper. So yeah, I mean, shit, man. If you want to talk about that one first, we go with that.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's. Do we want to take a break first?
Yeah, that's probably smart. Let's take a quick break.
Yeah,
and
take a quick break and then dive in.
Okay, sounds good.
One, two, three.
That's the worst one, dude. For some reason, I had in my head, I was like, oh, I need to do the 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I thought that. I just, all of a sudden, I was just like, oh, I need to start saying 1, 2, 3. Why did I think that? We've been doing this for 38
That's
episodes,
okay.
39 episodes.
We got it. I think we got it.
Just incredible. Just incredible.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. So yes, After Clang. Okay. Holy shit. So
you clearly enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, here's the thing, right? Like, fucking sometimes like there's like stuff that like I know you've shown me in the past, and like for whatever reason, like I'm like, why didn't I listen to this? Because like in listening to this now, I'm like, was this somehow not my jam back then? Because it's 1,000,000% my jam now. Like, this fucking rules. Yeah. I love, like, it's, here's the strangest thing about this, right? Because I know that I listened to 65 Days of Static, right? Which is a different band.
Yes.
In fairness, right? But like, I mean, 65 Days of Static is like, it's the whole glitchy shit. And like, this is just that in a different flavor. It's like chill glitchy in a way.
Yes, it's chill glitchy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a very strange, for me, it's weird. It's indelibly like mixed with Wheel of Time, because I just read Wheel of Time to this for like hundreds of hours. It's hard to think of this album without just like imagining a fantasy world with people throwing fireballs at each other.
Oh man, I have that experience with it's that album that Devin Townsend did with Che Amid Dorval, I think is her name, or Duval, or whatever it is. The name Casualties of Cool. Like I was playing like it's like a text adventure where you like have to like find the parts of this this spaceship and like
were you playing Space Quest?
No, it wasn't space, because it was like a text adventure.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. So you associated with space.
Yeah, and it's funny because like the album itself does have like an element of that, weirdly, like unexpectedly. I just happened to be like, I needed something in the background while I was literally just sitting here typing, like,
and then
playing this text adventure.
Yeah.
And so like that, every time I listen to that album, all I can think of is like, it's like, okay, well, I need to make sure I don't get eaten by a grue, because like, I can't wander into this room because I know that will kill me, so I got to go here. I think actually the name of the text adventure was called A Dark Room.
Oh, interesting. It's not.
Text.
Yeah. It's like
is that right? A Dark Room. Yeah. Here we go. Fire's dead, room is freezing. Yeah. Let me actually send this to you if you've never heard of it. We're off on a tangent immediately, which is amazing.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to circle back. I was going to circle it back.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, A Dark Room, it's just an incredible little text adventure, because it's like you just, there's audio now, apparently. Disable audio. But yeah, you just,
Yeah, light fire. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, enable fire. Enable audio. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, and it's like you literally just, like, you click things, right?
Yeah.
And you have to click the right things to get where you need to go. But anyway, so I played this many years. I mean, shit, before I moved back to Canada, I was still in the fucking apartment.
Damn.
I was literally just sitting on my bed with my laptop, playing this, listening to Casualties of Cool on repeat for like, I think, 3 hours or something, or however long it took me to beat the game. It was just, anyway. And it's funny too, because Casualties of Cool also has like kind of like a black and white album cover. And so, I mean, it's just
fits perfectly.
Yeah, just anyway, so just immediate, like, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's right. I had a very similar experience to that.
I think everyone has, hopefully, something like that.
I mean, there's always albums that are tied to specific time periods and specific things that have happened. But anyway, so
when you say chill glitch, I can't think of anything else other than like sitting in a rocking chair reading Wheel of Time. So similar vibes.
Yeah, I can see that. The thing that this reminded me of the most, the band Low Roar?
Nope.
Okay. Fucking Hideo Kojima used it, like, he must have just been listening to like some of their albums at the time he was making Death Stranding, because like they pop up like as like the music in Death Stranding a lot. and like they're not glitchy, but like they have some of the same elements as this group. And so like when I was listening to this, I was like, oh, it's like glitchy low roar, which is awesome because like low roar is just kind of like a very chill kind of thing, whereas like this is like, you know, the having the glitchiness drives it in a way that's not like frantic or anything, but like it just like it gives it the little like push that I think that it needs to not become just kind of like background music.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I'm reading a description of the third album by Low Roar. It has an atmosphere that never permits the sun to linger for very long, shutting it out with harsh, icy synth. Sounds like a joy. Sounds like a real joy.
It's you know, I would not call it an overly uplifting band / album / whatever.
It's what you get for living in Iceland.
I mean, you know, there's a melancholy to it. I was actually surprised this band wasn't from Iceland in that way.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
You know, when I saw that they were Danish, I was like, wait, is Low Roar Danish? That would make sense, but no, it's, you know, it's
that's similar. Wow, I'll have to check it out.
I don't want to oversell it because I was listening to this and then recalling a sense memory of another band, and so the reality of it is probably different from my imagining of it.
I've only ever found one band that sounds anything like this band. And I hate saying that and then not being able to immediately say the name of the band, but I don't remember what the name of the other band is. Starts with an M, I'm pretty sure. But I'll probably try. I'll think of it. But this is, I feel like it's a very unique sound.
And yeah, I mean, like it's crispy.
Crispy. I like that. Yes. Like, yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
It's just like it's like crinkled paper in your ears, you know? Like, and it's like it actually is like it's really frustrating because I don't know how to make this sound, you know? And like I want to, because like there's glitchy stuff that I want to do in my own music where I'm like, oh, I want that like really like crispy, and like I don't know how to do it. I don't know how they make it, and like Afterclang, please, you know, email is on the website. Just tell me how you make crispy.
It's Mum, by the way, is the other band that I found that sounds like this.
Mum,
M-U-M, with a little accent over the U.
Oh, okay, got it. Interesting.
Yeah, they're probably the closest to this, but it's not the same. I also have no idea how they sound like this. It's very unique, and their other albums don't sound exactly like this either. Like this is very much like, I think this is their best album. I think
this is their first as well, right?
Yeah, I think they just kind of did it right, and then they.
Interesting that you picked 2 debut albums.
Is Deloused a debut album?
It's it's their studio album, their debut studio album. I think they might have had an EP before
they had
that,
EPs,
but
yeah.
I mean, I'm just listening to Fetus right now. It's like, I mean, it's like it's got that. I mean, it has that. What is it like? Record player like sizzle. There's definitely some of that, but like you know,
it's very warm.
Warm. It's like analog noise, which is gorgeous. It's just fucking like.
Yeah, I love it. It's really nice. It's a very comfy feeling sound always. It's really great to read too.
Oh, I bet. But it's like so 35 seconds on Swarming. When it's got like it's just like it's basically just like the like little pops, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I'm there's probably a very easy way to do it that I'm just not privy to. But like my God, it's just like, and I guess it's like I think I could probably like make that noise, but making it as musical as they make it is the tricky part. Like it almost is like another drum layer.
Yeah,
you know?
It very much so almost blends in. It's hard to even hear the pops in a way.
Yeah, because it's like in some of my own mixes, I'm like this is like I'm like I like this, but there's missing like that like very high kind of it's not sparkly in this, but you know what I mean by sparkly, you know, where it's it's so high that it's almost like sounds like it's fucking with your speakers, but it's definitely
not. Yeah.
And I can never. I either shy away from it because I just think doesn't sound right, or I'm not doing it right, or like I'm not leaning as hard into it as I should be leaning into it. But like this just leans all the way. This is all the way leaned, and it's like, damn, man, God, it's like the whole time I was listening to this the first time, I just kept being like, damn, that's good.
Yes, I'm just listening to Swarming. I didn't stop once we started.
Neither did I. I'm still listening to it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is always what happens.
Yeah. And I don't know how they How did they record this album? Because it's obviously very orchestral, but I'm sure they didn't have. So I think they get an orchestra in some of their other, some of their later stuff.
I have to guess that it's synth stuff.
Oh, no, it is. No, it is all. No, it's literally fucking 20 goddamn people.
Oh, is it? Oh, shit.
Cello, choir, double bass, flugelhorn, flute. No wonder. It is analog. No wonder it sounds so analog. They just did it.
Yeah, they just fucking did it.
Yeah, no wonder. That's crazy. So who knows how they're getting... Who did the mastering? Michael Schwab. Who is this fucker? I don't know. There's a billion Michael Schwabs. I'm never going to find him. He doesn't look like he's famous, unfortunately. Wait.
Yeah.
Recorded by, mixed by, producer, Mads. As in, Mads Milkinson? No.
Yes, that's definitely who it was.
As in Madeline Rosario, I guess. This must be him, right? Looks like he could be. Interesting. Well, maybe you should just send this guy an email.
Yeah, be like, dude, tell me how you made Tripper. Just tell me how you made it.
Tell me how you made that album, please.
Yes. In great detail.
Yeah.
But step aside, I feel like is where this really pops off. That's when I say driving, I think that's what I kind of had in my mind of okay. Because it's immediately that kind of glitchy
it's got some
way that
go.
Yeah, it has a very glitchy start to it. It must be sampled, but it's
No, for sure. Yeah, it does make you think something's wrong with your headphones, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of these ones where it's if I downloaded it from Kazaa in 2004, I would have been wait, is this a fucked up copy? It's no, this is just how it sounds.
Yes, correct. Did that. Been there.
Oh, yes.
Not Kazaa, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost the first four, the beginning of each of them just starts up with this, just such an interesting soundscape to it. This, I'm listening to the beginning of Prey and Predator right now. And again, it's a very glitchy, very high end. And then, just very again, it's just crispy analog noise.
And the choir is great. I love the way they sound. I never realized there was a choir before now. I thought it was just a sampled vocalist. But of course now I realize it's 5 people singing. That's why.
It does help.
Yeah. Prey and Predator is great. I mean, I love all of these songs. That's the thing with this album. It's every second of it is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick out a specific. Oh,
well, I was gonna say I feel like Collecting Shields. It definitely takes a turn there, to a different vibe from the first handful of songs. I always feel like I notice when I get to Collecting Shields.
Yes,
maybe just because of the heavy use of the choir.
Yeah,
still good.
No, I love
just
that,
a different vibe.
Yeah. We move on. Just makes me think of Perrin trying to rescue his wife from the Aiel.
You mean Paul trying to rescue Chani from
the Emperor.
Yep.
Yeah, and Collecting Shields smoothly moves into Doppelganger.
Yeah, Doppelganger, I think probably of all of these is probably the one I remember the least from. Because as I comb through it, it's the one where I there's fewer times where I'm okay, I remember what happened here.
Yeah, it's that part. It's worth it for that part around 350 though.
Let me take a listen to that.
It's it has that long vocal part leading up to it, and then it just breaks into the choir.
Oh yeah. Man, that's a thing too. There's some tracks, and actually I'll probably mention this when we talk about Deloused, but there's some tracks that just have a payoff, and it's very difficult to get people to listen to them because they're kind of longish, but it's but there's this one part, and if you listen to the entire thing up to that point and then get to that point, you'll be oh yeah, that was the part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will. You know what one really does that one for me is it's an Ulver track.
I feel like that's half of Ulver's tracks.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
They're masters at that.
They really are.
Yeah, and this track reminds me of the White Tower.
Which one?
Doppelganger still.
Oh, Doppelganger, got it.
I always want to call those torturous tracks, but I think it's tortuitous or something.
I was going to say the same thing. No, tortuous.
Is it tortuous? Okay,
yeah,
it is. It just always looks wrong. That doesn't look like tortuous to me.
It's one of those words. It's just wait, really?
The longer I look at it, the worse it looks. Tortuous. 2 R2 tracks. Yeah, and this one starts to get back into the flow.
Okay, yeah. Hang on. I know you know this track, but I'm gonna send it to you because it's just from Ulver's Perdition City album.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. Which one is this?
So Porn Peace or the Scars of Cold Kisses. But it's at like around 423. If you go to that point in the track. Only street lights and gravel and pedestrian subway. Like every time, like when that comes on in the car and that part happens, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, God, it's been a long time since I've heard that song. I love that part. Yeah,
that part. But it's a 7-minute song, and the best part is it's like halfway through, and I'm just like, okay, but like, look, you gotta just like listen to the whole thing up to that point, and then that point, and then whatever you want to do is fine. But like that,
I mean, I'd say that song gets going at like 2 minutes.
Oh, it does, but like that part is like.
They make you work for it. Yeah,
they make you work for it.
I mean, that's why I stopped listening to prog music for the most part. It's just like, get on with it.
The only band that I can tolerate that for anymore is Opeth, because it's like, okay, yeah, I get it's a 15-minute song, but my God, that part at 13 minutes and 10 seconds is just.
So what was your favorite track on Tripper, would you say?
That's a great question. That's a hard.
It is. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what I would say, honestly.
I'm trying to find the one that has the moment for me.
I mean, is it just Chapter 6?
It might actually be.
Yeah, because that has a good one.
Chapter 6 is I love the beginning of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, right around 2:45.
Hang on
that song.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, this build up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so good.
Is it this one? It might be. It's either this or Step Aside.
Yeah, Step Aside is great. Yeah, Step Aside is just a banger.
Yeah, I feel like Step Aside is like more consistent throughout, but Chapter 6 has like some moments where it's like, ooh. But I will say though, Chapter 6 reminds me a lot of, and I've said this before from another band, so I don't know, like clearly, but Heligoland by Massive Attack.
Oh, sure, no, 100%, I see that.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, that album is just so fucking
drum
good.
Sample.
Yeah, could be.
That's similar.
And like, I don't know, maybe like the use of piano and some of like, again, some of like the vocal elements to it. I don't know. There's just like, I mean, Heligoland, there's so much variance to the tracks that like, I feel like it's maybe an easy thing to just be like, oh yeah, this sounds like that. Cause it's like, yeah, well they had like, you know, a bunch of songs that all sounded different. Of course there's going to be things that are
the start especially, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the softness of it.
Yeah. And like the franticness of the samples.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like chill glitch, right? It's like you're describing it as soft, and I'm describing it as frantic, and yet both of those things are not incongruous to each other.
They're both, that's happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay. Long story short, great fucking album.
Yes, an amazing album.
Love
so
this.
Good.
I'm kicking myself for not having been listening to this for the past, like, 20 years.
Yeah,
like
don't let me totally turn you off the other albums. They're good, too. I just think this is their best one.
Yeah, well, and also, it's just like, I know that you've told me about Afterclang, so I have no idea why I never listened to this. I don't know what happened.
And actually, they have a lot of albums I have not listened to. I think the last one I listened to was Pyramidia in 2012. So they have, 3 albums and an EP.
Oh, man.
I wonder what this one sounds like. Oh, yeah, they've gotten boring.
Yeah, that's always the thing. You come back to a band, you're like, oh, okay. It's not good anymore.
Yeah, it's just like, oh look, a clean production, like semi-acoustic rock band. Okay, cool.
I will say though,
we needed another one of those.
I get it. Like when you first make music, you have so many ideas, and eventually those ideas do run out. And it is like, you think it's just like it's like,
no.
Oh, you're just gonna keep churning them out forever.
Nope.
You don't.
Yeah, you spend your whole life making your first album.
Yep.
It's a shame, but that's why. I mean, I did do 2 debut albums here for a reason. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So yes, excellent album. Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
The only one on this list that I haven't heard before, but that's my fault. That's an own goal on my part.
Yeah, it's a great one.
So of my 2, which one would you prefer to talk about next?
Let's talk about Bones in the Soil first.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I recommend this one to you like a long time ago, and I know you did add it to your list. So I know that this has been one that, like, at the very least, you have heard before.
Yes, it did sound familiar. Maybe that's part of it. I didn't remember that I'd listened to it before, honestly. As you know, math rock is not my
number one genre.
Number one genre, yeah. And this album was least the first time, it's a lot to go through at once.
It is, yeah. It's also a long album.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, it's a very long album, and it feels long when you listen to it. When I listened to it later, like not like sitting in my chair paying attention to it, it like, didn't feel long at all. But
Yeah.
I also feel like it became a single song
Yes.
at that point. So it became hard to differentiate it.
Yeah. I have a lot of trouble talking about this album individually. I could never pick apart the songs to save my life.
Thank God. Okay, great. Because that's the problem I had. It was like I was just like this kind of all blends together for me in one.
I would much rather talk about this album in totality than I would try to pick apart any individuals. Because like I literally, even when I'm trying actively to listen to individual like songs, I just zone out and listen to the whole album.
Yeah, I feel like that's on purpose. I feel like the guitars are like trying to be hypnotic, but like maybe they succeeded too well.
Yeah. Well, and this is an interesting counterpart to Deloused, I feel like, and I'd be interested to hear if you have any thoughts about like if you found a similar thing that I found to this.
No, I would be interested to hear what that is.
So I feel like Pretend plays a lot with like atonality.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
in a similar way to the Mars Volta, because it's like I was listening to Deloused and I'm like, I mean, that not surprising, but it was just kind of just like one of those like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. It's like, Mars Volta really does like they go hard on like the atonality, especially in Deloused. Yes. And the same thing here. I mean, like there's a lot of places where like the guitar is not playing the scale.
No. In fact, I have some notes about some of those places.
Okay, hit me with it.
Let's see here. What is it? 130? Is that one of them? Yeah. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah. 130 on Dream Shiver.
On Dream Shiver?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, the little like the guitar just like goes like it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's those little parts. It's just like, man, if only this song wasn't 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, this for me is definitely a put it on in the background.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. It was impossible for me to listen to it. I did, but like I never did it again.
I mean, it's because it's like, I mean, it's a jazzy album. Like there's not literally just for the fact that it's like, I mean, they're playing in swing time in several points in this. It's
a very strange tension between like the math rock elements and like the post rock elements they're doing. Mm-hmm. It made the guitar feel like it made me feel like he was stressed out half the time. Because like
yeah, there's like a nervous energy to it.
Yeah,
I mean, like to me, this is almost like the math rock version of like free jazz. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe more like bebop jazz, but still like it's got that flavor of just like there is some dense musicality going on that like if I pay too much attention to it will exhaust me.
Yes.
But like in the background I'm like, I was like, oh, that's a cool thing that just happened. Oh, that's a cool thing that just happened. And then I just kind of go back into like the wash of everything that's happening.
Yeah. This band reminds me a lot of Pelican. I don't know if you ever heard them.
I know you've told me about Pelican. Yeah, I've always not listened to Pelican specifically for the fact that every time I try to get into them, I remember, oh, that's right, they don't have lyrics, and then I just have a hard time getting into the music itself, which is that's on me.
This album barely has lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, but like
both because they're pretty rare, and also because half the time when they are there, you can't hear them.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a very subtle vocalist.
That's I feel like that's half the time. That's what I'm hearing, which is very little.
Yes, he's just kind of like whispering things occasionally to you.
Yeah, he's sing whispering. I get it. I don't feel like it's always the right choice for the music that is happening behind the lyrics. Because it's math rock.
It is unique though. I've never heard a band like this before. Like,
no, it is very unique. And let me just say, in case I've been maybe a little too negative here, despite my like general dislike of like math rock elements, And the guitar here is no exception to that. Let me just say that right now.
Yep.
Whoever is the drummer for this band deserves a medal.
Oh my God. And he just like, sometimes I feel like he just kind of is just off in his own world, just doing whatever. And it works so perfectly, but it's like, it's crazy town.
No, seriously, you can jump to any point on this album, any song at any time, and the drummer is just doing some ridiculous. Just take the guitar out. You don't need this like weird noodling that's happening constantly. Just have the drummer just banging out whatever he's doing, because he's great. He's carrying the whole band the whole time, which is crazy because it's like an hour and 20 minutes of him doing that.
I know. I'm listening to Guided Spirits, Gilded Souls, right? It's like around like a minute 30, and he's just
yeah, exactly. And then just skip to a random time in that song at some other point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a slow part, but that's
because
the guitar's doing a cool bendy part. It's like I wish there was more parts like this. 340, by the way, on Guided Spirits, Gilded Souls.
Yeah,
he's doing this like bend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 330-7, I guess he does.
Yeah, no, I heard it though. Okay. It's a very atonal band.
Yeah,
it's just like,
I love that atonal stuff. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's like, damn, if only this. Well, I mean, this is 6 minutes. This is not so bad.
Yeah,
but even then, though, like, well, that's happening. The drums at like 4:30. He's doing like some sort of like swing, like cymbal work, and then he goes into like a crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just great.
I will say though,
yeah.
The best track on this is number 5. Those luminous noises are God. Like this one, I feel like is just the most consistent throughout. It's just like
you can tell that from the number. As soon as I pulled this up, I saw that one song had 350,000, and like all the rest of them had like 20.
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah,
oh,
okay,
okay, I see what the most popular one here is. That's probably going to be the best, and it is. I agree.
I mean, because like back in the day, right? Like this song showed up in my algorithm for whatever reason and turned me on to this band. And it's like, I mean, cause it's like, it just fucking rules. Like, it's like, I listened, I was like, oh, this is the best math rock I've ever heard. Like, this is so fucking good. And like this, and I knew that like, cause I know that I'd said this to you like a million years ago. I was like, okay, I know you will like this because it's like, you have an appreciation for something that is unique, even if it's a little out there. And I feel like this is a good example of like, this might not even be this is not really your genre, but like, my God, is this a unique band? And I think that you're much more receptive to it for that reason.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, just like to try and combine these two genres, in which I'm talking about math rock and post rock specifically. Yeah, is like it's a bold move to do it, because they are literally, I feel like almost opposed in some ways, because math rock is so like tight and post rock is so like lazy. Yeah, I don't know. Like it just kind of swings wherever it wants most of the time.
Yeah, and I feel like it's actually a really nice synthesis, because like the math rock elements help keep it fucking going. Well, the post rock is kind of, doing what it's doing. Like there's enough happening here that it's an enjoyable thing to listen to. Because sometimes like when I listen to post rock stuff, when I was into post rock, which I'm really not anymore, like I almost always skip post rock stuff when I'm listening to stuff. But post rock, it's like sometimes I'm listening to it, I'm just like, oh, wait, am I still listening to something? What's happening? And it's like, oh, it's because there's like a 20-minute section where it's just like, car noises, and I'm just like, no, I can't do this right now. Like I need a song. And this is like at least the bones of a song throughout, enough to keep my like interest, so that like when the cool post rock parts come up, it's like, oh yeah, this is
This did make me go back and listen to 65 Days of Static again, I will say.
Oh, interesting.
Because I like, this felt like a tease in a way. I was like, I want these post rock elements, but like all the time. And I'd forgotten how energetic 65 Days of Static was.
Oh, 65 Days is Crazy Town.
Yeah, it's Crazy Town. I forgot that entirely. I'm used to post rock being like 30-minute build-ups. It's like, no, there's also 65 Days of Static just like going hard.
Yeah. See, what I'll need to recommend to you at some point is A Forest of Polarity by the band Rooftops, which is the most similar band to this that I found, but without the post-rock elements.
Okay.
You know, it's the tight version of that.
Yeah, this album seems to be people either really love it or think it's okay. That's what I was able to glean from looking at a few threads.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, it's you mentioned about the drummer, and honestly, like, this album does feel like four musicians that are just all doing different things at the same time. Like you have like a singer that's like quietly like talking into a microphone and probably like walking around the room, and like they aren't even holding the microphone. They just kind of like every so often they like walk past it, and you get like a quick glimpse of like, it's like who he just he's sighing for a little bit. Oh no, he's gone. Oh no, he's going to the bar to get a drink.
Occasionally they come together and do something.
And it's like the drummer is just smashing all the drums off somewhere, and like the guitarist is just standing in a corner hitting random notes, and then the poor bassist is the only one on stage just playing, and he's like, guys. But it works.
Yeah, no, when it comes together, it's great. Like, I'm listening to I'm listening to the eponymous track.
Oh yes,
Bones in the Soil, and just like it takes 8 minutes to get there, but like when it gets there, you know, that part right at like 8 minutes.
Let me find it.
I guess like
8:00. Yeah, the fucking break. Yeah, the post rock breakdown, right?
Yeah, it's great. And then it like stops at like 9 minutes. You get 1 minute. They're like, okay, can I please, sir? May I have some more?
The singer finally walks by the microphone.
Gotta get bread and eggs. Oh, I mean, I have more to talk about, but just talking about the singer in this moment. Spiral Born Black into the Upwards of Night, the part at the start ish, where he's like, you are going to die.
Yep.
You are going to. I just like. I'm sorry. I could not. Like, I giggled. Just like I was listening to it, and like I got to that point, and he was like, you are going to die, and you didn't want to hear that, and I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's fine. I knew that already. Like.
It's okay. It's hilarious that you say that, because to me that is one of my like.
No, I could see how if you were in a different mood the first time you heard that line.
Yeah,
how devastating it could be.
Like 2 minutes 57 seconds. Like when he says that, it's just it's like it's the way that all of everything comes together at that moment. Like because he's like his singing is kind of like off kilter. Like he's just kind of like. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like, it feels like everything is kind of like off the bar line, and everything's a little bit just kind of, everything is just kind of scattered, and like at that moment it all just comes together. So, you're going to die, yes you are really, yes you are really. And it's like, it's one of those like post-rocky moments for me in this album. And this album is filled to the brim with post-rocky moments.
Oh yeah.
You know? But I think that's it's certainly one of them.
Yeah. But the rest of that song is really, really good, actually. It might be my favorite track. Is the last track, Spiral Born.
I think it has some of the best moments on it. The reason I like 5 better is just because like Luminous
5
Noises.
is way more consistent for sure.
It's way more consistent. That's it's the same thing with the Afterclang, right? It's like the last track. It's interesting how this all works out. The last track on the Afterclang, better moments, but the other one is more consistent. Same deal here. Oh god, yeah. But yes, it's just such a
like 720.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like, I love that bit. But yes, no, I mean, if I was going to add any song to like listen to later, I would definitely put Those Luminous Noises Are God, because it's actually like a song.
Yeah.
And whereas everything else kind of feels like an experiment, which I'm happy to listen to and appreciate, but I don't want to listen to a 12-minute song that often.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And this album, like, that's the thing with this album. I compare it to free jazz exactly for that reason of just like, this feels extremely experimental, you know?
Yeah, like I said before, this is bold. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. If someone said to me, yeah, math rock and post rock, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Math rock, post rock, and then swing time.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, the drummer really, though, he's the band, in my opinion. He's doing all the legwork.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's the only one using his legs,
including. I guess that's what the track "Legs to Walk Us" is for.
Yes,
which is also I also like that track a lot, mostly because it's only 4 minutes.
Oh, and the intro is really nice.
Yeah,
to that.
And then everything past like 1:30 is like amazing.
Yes, definitely a high, like a crescendo point to the album.
Yes.
But yeah, This album fucking rules. There should be like every single one of these tracks should have 1 million views, but I understand why maybe they don't because it's long and it's tiring. But man, just put this one on the background on repeat. It's a good one.
yeah. That's what I did. I just played Warhammer to it.
Yeah, I mean seriously, like this is one of those albums that's like it's got the perfect amount of like singing that like it doesn't distract me, where I could just put it on and just plow through. Yes. I love it. All right.
Should we move on to the Mars Volta?
We have to. I think we must.
I think we have
to.
So
yeah, fuck. Mars Volta, man.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone here who's listening has not heard this album before, just go listen to it right now.
Yeah.
It'll change your
listen
life.
to all these albums, but definitely listen to this one.
Yeah, out of all these, this one first though.
Unless I mean, so I actually didn't listen to this album for quite a long time. I really only got to this one because I'd listened to Mecha Amputecture like a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, at a certain point, you were like, "Oh, have you not listened to D-Less in the Comatorium?" I'm like, "No, I don't think I have." And so I had listened to it. I was like, "Oh, this is actually the one."
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah.
Like, Mecha Amputecture, great, right? Perfectly fine album, And Francis the Mute, perfectly good album.
Yeah, they're fine.
Fucking this album, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's by far their best. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It just like it starts off a little soft with that first song, and then it just goes.
And it's just like, I mean, like you can just skip to like any moment in this album, and something cool is going on.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the vocal work, like,
oh yeah.
How does this man still have a voice? Well, based on the other albums, maybe he doesn't.
I do love his voice.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's got, and I know that he did at the drive-in, so he's got that kind of like, what is it, like a post-hardcore like energy to his vocals, and I mean, I love post-hardcore shit, so like he brings that to this, but like in a, just like what's the word, like a prog rock, prog metal kind of way.
Yeah,
I guess, prog rock. Yeah,
they're
prog
crazy.
Rock is right.
Yeah, they're crazy vocals. It's hard to even describe them. It's like, is he screaming? Kind of. Like, what is that? What is he doing with his voice there? I don't get it.
Exoskeletal judgment at the wind, whatever he says. I don't know.
Yeah, and this so clearly inspired like entire bands. Like the Deer Hunter is just like, yeah, they exist surely because of fucking.
Yeah, I don't think he's really screaming. I think he's just like he's just got a really nice, like, powerful high register to his voice.
Yeah,
and he just kills it.
He kills it. Yeah, it's a beautiful voice. Yeah, and then 246 on Roulette Dares, that just like guitar solo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, talk about atonality, right? It's just like just all the notes. Just like, well, what notes do you think I should play? I don't know. Maybe I'll just play most of them.
Just play every single note at the same time. It'll sound good somehow, and it does. Yeah.
And I mean, another drummer that deserves a gold medal.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. These drummers are carrying the backs of these bands. Yeah. And then we get to Drunken Ship of Lanterns.
Yeah, because Tira Me
it's
whatever.
It's a transition song. Yeah.
A transition song, but yeah. I do, yeah.
And it's nice, don't get me wrong.
I do love Drunken Ship.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, that like flamenco guitar or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's almost like a popping, like a slap popping type of action to the guitar. I don't know if that's actually what he's doing, or that actually might even be a bass on the high, like the high end of the fretboard.
Bass, yeah. Oh my god, with the bassist. Oh my god. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's just it's a masterpiece. It really is.
You can take a bunch of talented musicians and do some really boring stuff with them, and this is the opposite of that.
Yeah, no, it's so fun.
It's so fun, yeah. And it's like, it's funny, like I like this is one of those albums where like I just like, it's like all of the lyrics are just fucking nonsense to me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So now you know what it feels like for me to listen to all music.
Because you know me, I like to sing along, right? And I find myself most of the time with this is like, I don't know what's being said.
I just like singing around the yard, Jason.
Singing around.
Tight as an arrow.
Tight as an arrow.
No shit's up there. Yeah, you can't understand a darn thing he's saying. And I refuse to look up the lyrics, of course.
Oh yeah, I'll never look up the lyrics. I don't want to know. Area Tarka. Like, so they slow it down for this, obviously, and this one grooves much more, but like, oh man, it's just like every track on this is just, there's just so much like texture and atmosphere and like I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna like gush, I guess, because
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, what else can you do? It's just so good. Take this as an opportunity to listen to this album again, everyone.
Are they gone? But yeah, I mean, like that little like transition, like from like from 45 seconds into like 47 seconds. You know, it's almost very like Mike Patton-y, you know, just like very clean.
I was actually
transition from one to the other. Like
this reminds me a lot of California.
Yeah,
100%. I think it's the sparkly sound effect mostly.
Yeah,
combined with the guitar.
So then, Cicatrice ESP.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love this song.
Oh my god. Actually, sorry. I'm going back to Tarka. The like end of Tarka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like well,
yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah. Cicatrice ESP is the post-rockiest post-rock song without being as boring as post-rock tends to be. Because you have an entire like giant section in the middle of this, which I'm pretty sure, and I actually looked at this later and I think I confirmed myself, is basically just them noodling around on a modular synth for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. But then it comes back into like the best like post-rock build-up glory of
right
all
around
time.
like 9:30.
Yeah, because it's like, when do they stop playing music? It's like
around 6 minutes. So it's about 3.5 minutes of like noodling.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes. And because it's who is it? It's hang on, who did this for them?
Who noodled?
Because it's the guy from, I think it's the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Who was the noodler? Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, I just made myself sad. And dated this episode.
Oh, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Oh well, you know, at least he went quick. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. John Frusciante, the guitarist for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
He did the synthesizer stuff on Cicatrice ESP. So yeah, it was basically he probably just has a modular synth somewhere, and he was just like, all right, I'll just fuck around with this for a while. We'll just do this. But yeah, it's like, yeah, so they noodle on that, and then it slowly comes back in.
Yeah.
And then they fuck around for a while.
Yeah, until like 11. And
yeah, literally, beyond the anthills of the whatever the fuck.
Yes,
like,
the best part.
Oh my god! It's like when that comes back in after all of that bullshit, it's like, oh, chef's kiss, so good.
Of this place,
I lost my way.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, I don't think he's screaming, because it's like when I'm singing this, I don't there's never a point where I'm ever like screaming. He's just got like a very like
yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I love so then on the apparatus must be unearthed. Like the way that, so they're using some processing on the vocals around like 47 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like distorting them and kind of like adding other harmonics to it. Fuck, that sounds good, dude. It's like, it just sounds like his voice is like, it sounds like he's like screaming such that like his voice is like breaking apart into like, you know, like it's like glitching out the speakers or something, you know?
Yeah, and then it comes in at like 120.
Yep. It's like they're including like I don't know, it must be like a semitone or something away, so it sounds like really garbled and distorted. God, fuck, man. It's like this album is just like one of those things that like I need to just sit down and listen to, and then like go make music immediately afterwards while still remembering the cool things that happened, because it's like
yeah, they just make the complexity seem effortless.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it. The complexity of this seems effortless.
Yeah, like it seems like they're just having fun and like jamming, but like I can't even begin to imagine what the like track for this must look like. Right? How many like rows of boxes, and how small those boxes are, and how close together they are. Just like it's a nightmare to think of.
Yeah. I can imagine that there was a lot of sends. There was a lot of routing to effects and stuff in this, because it's like there's just a whole bunch of fucking nonsense, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of nonsense, and
in fact,
it's so good.
If I was, I bet the fucking producer has just like a stack of like effects racks. He's like, I just labeled a whole bunch of nonsense.
All this shit. Just get it all together and put it all in there.
All this shit. Just take all your shit over here and put it over here.
What if we just push the town out of the way? What if we just push all the effects into the song, every single one of them, and it's great. They knew what they were doing, clearly. Oh,
And then Televators.
yeah. 7 million plays. I'm just looking at that. This is the most popular song. And I'll be honest, it's probably the one I'm least familiar with.
Well, actually 9 million for Interactic ESP.
Oh, are you? Oh, 9 million for Interactive ESP? Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Because I was about to agree with you that I was like, actually incorrect.
This
actually.
song. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
no,
amazing.
this is the chillest one, but like,
yeah, but
this
that
one
part at 2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like the doubling of vocals on that.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like they use the right things at the right times. This is like this album. It's like they had they clearly had a lot of tools in their toolbox, and they use them at the right times, to just have these perfect moments.
I'm a big proponent of like restrictions are like a good thing for artists generally. Like the more tools you have, the less like good your product is going to be at the end generally. But like, there's always exceptions to the rules, and this is definitely one of those where like they clearly had all the tools in the toolbox, and like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I mean, the outro to this as well.
Yeah, it's so good. His voice is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course,
I mean, you take take the Veil Serpent tax. I mean,
take the Veil Serpent tax.
You just take the Veil Serpent. I mean, it's obvious. Like when you really think about it, I mean, you just take the Veil Serpent tax.
Yeah, just a complete banger for sure.
What was the thing that I sent you? Good luck with that, because Vinyl Siding eats winter squid and obsequious Lady Hawk construction twice. First on truck conditioners and then with presidential urology. The Mars Volta.
Yeah, the Mars Volta. Makes sense to me.
It's perfect sense. Yes, thank you for making me listen to this album again, because I love listening to this album.
Yeah, it's great.
Excuse I have to listen to this album is a good excuse.
That's how I felt too. Yeah, just a pleasure.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, and now for the finale, an album that, despite having the words "A New Hope" in it, is probably what I think is the most hopeless sounding album of all time.
Yeah, it is. It's strangely sad.
Yeah, it's a unique kind of sad.
Yeah, it's a weird, but it is. It's very depressing.
Like, because like some albums are sad because they like, they talk about like a sad thing, but like this sounds like an album. This is not sad. This is depressing.
Yeah, that's why in Rust and Blood Ground.
Yeah,
the previous thing we were talking about, like that we're all gonna die line made me laugh, because it was like such a contrast to like this album where like this first song, Saturday Nightmares, he's essentially talking about like going to a bar, as far as I can tell. And it's so sad.
Yeah,
it's so sad for like no reason.
For no reason. And his singing is just like, I don't know how he sounds so like perfectly whispery, but I just like, God, I love it, man.
And like the music itself is not like particularly like downbeat, although it is down-tuned, I think.
It might be, yeah.
But like it's not there's a good tempo to it. It's moving. Like there's the piano sounds kind of like light, but somehow when it's all packaged together, it's really sad.
It really is. It creates an atmosphere of like things might possibly be able to be all right, but they're definitely not. Know, like that's where I think because I've listened to this album a lot, because
same.
This is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I think that like what I've landed on is like when you have something where it's like it sounds like things are like just bad. Like the pretend thing. It's like, we're all going to die, right? It's just like, okay, fine. Like whatever. That's just existential, like, but this is like there's moments of like hopefulness that are then taken away from you in this album, which is it's so good.
Yeah. It feels vulnerable.
Yeah. Vulnerable is a good word for it.
The way like they play the instruments and the way they sing, it's all very like delicate, but not in like the whimsical way that it usually is portrayed. Oh God, it's so good.
Yeah, I think for me, Weather Island probably is the one that like encapsulates the feeling the most. Like, because like towards the end, or I'm trying to find.
I think for me, Forest Eyes might be the most. I think that's the one.
Around 2 minutes in Weather Island. It's like, I'll trick myself, forget all this, rewrite the whole thing. It's like, I'm literally lying to myself. Like, that's, it's just like.
And it's so understated. Ugh.
Yeah. That it will be spring again for a while. It's like that, that whole concept is just like, it's like, things will get better for a while.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's like amazing.
Fuck, man. Oh.
And he sings in such a clear voice that you can understand all the things that he's saying.
Yes, every word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's got like a really like delicate vocal fry that like I wish that I could emulate properly and can't, like I don't know what I have to do to my voice to make it sound like that, but I'm willing to do it. I'll do whatever that thing is. And also just a criminally low amount of plays. I will also add.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to seeing that for my music.
Yeah. But like if there's one album I could be like, no. We need more plays on it. This is among them. This is up there.
I do also really like their other albums though.
Oh yeah.
I will say, like, I think they've pretty much only put out bangers, right? Like if I look at their other albums, right? They stopped making stuff, right? Yeah, they did. Yeah, so all their stuff is good. They have no bad stuff.
Yeah, because Sunset Panorama is good. Raging Sun is good. Contractor and Assassin is good.
Yeah.
Every Time a Bell Rings, I think, is mostly this. It's just an EP, I think. Is it just an EP? Or
No. Every Time a Bell Rings is actually maybe one of my favorite by them.
Oh, no. That's this one.
Because that has like Yellow Lights and Note on a Bathroom Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is like.
I was forgetting.
You can't forget Note on a Bathroom Mirror. That's like one of their best songs.
It's the Raging Sun that I haven't listened to that much.
Yeah, that's their punk album. So I get that. It's very different. But no, back to North though. Ugh.
Yes.
The Invitation, I mean,
yeah.
The intro.
Oh yeah. Around 146 when they bring in like the guitar.
Yes.
Oh my god. It's like again, it's like post-rock buildup, but I only have to wait 1 minute and 46 seconds for it.
And it's so simple. There's like there's nothing complicated happening at all, but it like comes together so beautifully. Ugh.
And I think what they make use of, and I don't know if it's in every song, but I think it's in a fair bit of them, is I feel like there's like chords on like a synth, like deep in the background that are just like a drone, and they're like, because when I've tried to do stuff like theirs, I have found success in just adding like a chord on top that just kind of sits there, and it just makes everything sound really sad when you do that. If you just have like a minor chord just hanging out in the background, making everything miserable.
Yeah, it's the movie trick. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they use that kind of like. I think they use some very subtle background textures to very great effect in this.
It works.
It does, yeah. I mean, and it's kind of apropos, right? It's like, it's like this whole album is like having a black cloud hang over everything, and like that's like just there's an element on all these songs of just like, there's something shitty and it's kind of over here, but boy is it shitty.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, god, such a brutal album. Oh,
it's brutal.
It's also where I learned the phrase, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from fucking All the Trees.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I first learned that.
That's okay. That's an interesting tidbit. That's a pretty common phrase.
Yeah, never heard it before then.
Well, I guess you were one of the 10,000 that day or whatever, that XKCD thing.
Yeah.
Death to My Hometown, by the way, one of the first songs I learned to play on the piano.
Oh, yeah, nice. Of course. Yeah, the piano, of course, used great effect through this whole album.
And Death to My Hometown is, I think, one that I think there is. If I'm listening, I think that there is like a synth somewhere in the background there that's like, maybe not playing only one chord, but playing like just chords. Actually, have you ever heard the, out of curiosity, have you ever heard the, like the live one of that? It's like, it's recorded on a potato, but it's gorgeous.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on one of their albums, right?
It might be, but like it just encapsulates for me like how good they are.
Wait, is Death to My Hometown a Bruce Springsteen song?
It is also a Bruce Springsteen song.
But it's not a cover, right?
No, it's not. It's just, no. Very, very different vibes. Here, I'll send this one to you. This is one that's like, it just really makes me appreciate like how put together this like whole thing is.
Yeah, we found the same video.
Yeah. They're just sitting around in a room. Oh God. Just absolutely recorded on a potato.
It's fine. Oh my god, his voice. Oh my god.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how he can like sing that song without crying, essentially.
It is, oh God, it's like, if you listen to the lyrics, it is a miserable song.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a miserable song. It's great. It's insane how consistently sad all these songs are.
Yeah, it's that synth that comes in the background, just like these nice little like chords, just like, ooh, everything's terrible.
Oh, and then the black box.
Yes.
Oh my god. Just immediately into another amazing, the build up to like,
I love the guitar playing in this too. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like the chords just sound really fucking sad. Yeah, there's nothing to hide because there's nothing inside.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's like, shit, man.
Yeah. And like the chords they use are like so like clear and like bright almost, but so sad still somehow.
Yeah, it's like, because I mean, sometimes you can make sad music and it's just like, it's like a lot of like very like deep, like droning, like, or like, dark, a lot of dark, like they use like a lot of major tonality and a lot of like kind of on the surface happy sounding stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so baffling about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, oh my God. Yeah, no, Black Box may be one of my favorite songs by them.
It might be the best. That and Thieves in the Palace might be the two best songs on the album.
But Thieves in the Palace almost feels like it fits on a different album. I love it, but it almost feels like it fits on a different album. Like it's the most punky of all of them.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely the most callback to their like earlier stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the like everything past 5 minutes in Thieves of the Palace is where it like really comes back, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
They get all their energy out.
Yeah.
Empty
Yeah.
space. The way they're using that like triangle or whatever there.
Yeah. Yeah, triangle's probably right.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
And then it builds back up.
I would love to be able to write music like this. Because it's like they have a special sauce, and I have struggled to capture it because I have tried to write stuff like this and failed, and it frustrates me to no end.
Yeah, well, if you ever figure it out, let me know.
I will, believe me. If I ever come up with a log song, it will be posted. Don't worry.
Yeah. And they never made anything else.
I know. I would love for the. I mean, I get it, right? Like sometimes, like maybe they only have one of this album in them.
That's
but
fine.
Like,
yeah.
I need somebody else to also have one of this album in them, so I can get at least one or two more of them.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like this because it's like it's so uncomplicated.
Mm-hmm.
Every other album that comes close to this is like having to do so much to get there, and this is just like doing it with like what feels like nothing.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at that. And I'll post it in the show notes. I'm reminding myself now to do it. But like, you look at that thing, it's like what, 4 guys in a room, right? Like, and they basically make the same track. So it's not like there's any trickery going on here. It's literally just 4 guys in a room making
just
this
some
stuff.
Combination of factors is just like they did it.
Yeah, it's a combination of just like really like wringing everything out of a very simple set of ideas, I think. And then combined with just a very good mix on this whole album. Like it just everything sounds good. And it's just like,
Yeah, looking at the album art actually this whole time, like they really do capture it. Just like looking at a city through like a rainy windshield.
Yep.
Like, yeah. And then sometimes just like the like.
And are those orchids?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, like white orchids. So
it's
I'm
like
sure
you're seeing like the
symbolism.
reflection of orchids, like probably from
past reminiscent,
Yes.
Oh my God. And like they did this whole thing with like this vocalist is new, right? Like this is like the first time like.
Oh, is that how it is?
Oh no, it was the drums.
It was the drums.
And then but then he was replaced by 3 people. Yeah, that's what it is. They added the keyboards. Carl Advertson, that's what it is. They added the fucking piano. And that,
got
changed their whole thing. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, so good. And then of course, A New Hope.
A New Hope was actually, after listening to this, was stuck in my head for like a week and a half. Like,
yeah,
there's something like, I don't know. It's like, because it's called A New Hope, but it almost like, if you listen to like the lyrics, it almost feels like being unable to get out of a cycle. Like, where's the lyrics? Yeah, it's like let's go to a place that's not too late.
and that's it. After that, they break
Go
up.
party somewhere else. It's like can't stop, won't stop, but like not in like a party haha way. It's like I've never heard somebody sing the word party in that particularly sad way. It's like party. It's like no party. I've never heard somebody so upset about it being a party.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, it's like a New Hope sounds hopeless. I love it. I fucking love this album. This is, yeah, I mean, you know, I like I said, I've talked about that, like, you know, there's certain albums that make me jealous because I can't make that kind of music, or I can't figure out how they're making that kind of music. This is very much one of those albums. Like, it's one of the strongest influences on my own songwriting. Like, not like necessarily like some of the other, like, you know, music stuff that I've done, because a lot of the, you know, a lot of the electronic stuff you showed me obviously is, you know, the big impetus for that. But like my traditional, like if I'm sitting down with an acoustic guitar and a, you know, a piece of paper to write lyrics, North is what is on my mind 90% of the
100%,
time.
Yeah. The only band that's ever come anywhere close to me to this is, in terms of sadness at least, is Chroma Key maybe. You know, the same people that did OSI and Dream Theater. Kevin
Which
Moore.
is hilarious because it's like OSI is so like...
Yes.
Yeah.
They have one particular... He has one particular album, Graveyard Mountain Home, that I feel like approaches, at least for me, the same level of like, this is both sad and like very simple. But it's not, I mean, Log is, you know, it's better still. Log is definitely better.
What is the one? Yeah. The closest one for me is Together We're Stranger by No Man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. Yep.
It's not all the way there, but like...
No, I agree 100%. That's another really sad. If you want to be sad, that's a good album.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, maybe it's City in 100 Ways is like just devastatingly sad, you know? Like, I mean, they're all sad, but like there's one particular like line in one of these that's just like, I listen, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, No Man is a brutally sad band just in general.
Are they though? Because it's like I feel like some of the other stuff I've listened to by them is not.
Okay, I haven't listened to all their stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and to be fair, the only other thing that I listen to by them is Dry Cleaning Ray, and Dry Cleaning Ray is not that. So I need to listen to like some of their other stuff.
Schoolyard
like
Ghosts.
We Are Ghosts. Oh, Schoolyard Ghosts. Sorry, I see it. Yeah, I haven't listened to. Yeah, I need to listen to some of their like their studio albums because Dry Cleaning Ray is a compilation album, and I don't know.
Dry Cleaning Ray is not like it's still like has that somber tone.
Yeah, but it's got a different vibe to it. The vibe is totally different.
Yes, the vibe is off.
Yeah, because like Together a Stranger is it approaches that same like ooh boy, you know, type of like this is dark. Like, this is some dark shit I'm listening to.
Yeah, oh man, really fucking dark. Fuck. I love it though.
I love it. I mean, I love depressing albums. You know, I'm a big fan of depressing. I mean, you know, there's one as well.
I guess Invisible Man by Marillion comes close for me too.
I haven't listened to much Marillion.
Marbles is the album name, I guess, but fuck that.
Oh yeah, okay, Marbles. Yeah. Marbles is
crushingly sad.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole thing.
Different dark vibe to it, but
yes.
I know where you're coming from on that because you did turn me on to listening to Marbles, I think a year or so ago, and
the end of that first song is amazing on that album. Yeah,
but
amazing.
Yeah, so you know, a bunch of criminally underrated albums, and then
except the Mars Volta album.
I was about to say, and then D-Louse in the Comatorium,
which is properly rated, I think.
Yes. You know, it's funny though, because like I'm trying to remember what we said something, and then I was like, oh, that's the thing that ties all these albums together. Oh yeah, these are all very unique bands. Like all of these albums are very unique. I think that like these are all. If I'm gonna try to find a theme, you know, after the fact for these, it's just like these are like where the fuck did these albums come from? Albums.
Yeah, I like there to be a lesson at the end of these. What's the lesson? What do we learn here?
Yeah, we're doing morals now at the end of every It's Two Brothers podcast, and that's the moral for this.
What's the moral? What is that from though? Fuck, what is that from?
I mean, other than South Park.
I think it's the Community.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just imagining Stan Marsh coming up and telling us what he learned. Yeah. You know, what I think I really learned is, these albums aren't really, they're really great. I can't do a Stan Marsh voice, so just that's the best you're gonna get out of me. All right, that's the best you're gonna get. Oh man, fuck. Well,
yes, so good.
I have an idea. I have a couple ideas for next time.
Sure.
If we do this one, I'll leave this in. If we don't do this one, I won't leave this in, and we'll just say goodbye normally.
Hey,
I've had this thought for a while, and I've been prepared for it, but I don't know if you've been prepared for it. Is, I get stuff recommended to me in my YouTube algorithm, and I've stopped listening to some of it because I want to just do an album blind.
Oh,
do you have any interest in that? Because basically, I was gonna pick something out of my YouTube recommends, sight unseen, and be like, let's just listen to it and see what it sounds like, having absolutely zero idea what it is. I won't pick something ridiculously long because I get recommended a lot of hour and a half, hour and 45-minute albums. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's probably shit. So I don't want to listen to it. Yeah. So if you have anything that you're interested in throwing on there, I would be down to do that.
Okay, I'd be down for doing the
sight unseen.
Sure, yeah.
Fuck. All right, let's try that. I've got. Yeah. I'll find. Maybe. I'll tell you. Let's do this. Let's only do one because it might be we might need to roast it.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good though.
Cool. Let's try that then. All right, this was a good one. We're gonna do fucking mystery albums next time, and it'll either be really cool or it'll be just us absolutely roasting a couple albums. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Thanks for listening. See you later.
See you later.
Peace.